So this video will just be a lot of fast forward. I'm just going to let you know that. I'm going to just be kind of making sort of a lot of the like doors, and I want to make sure that like teleports work, but I'm going to stop once I get to the key. So it's going to be a little bit of fast forward. Just letting you know. So I feel we should probably continue here. Now I want to make something that we don't need 2 pages for this. I want to make a conditional branch when this area is being used to make sure the player has fought something. So it's going to check if the fire cave's exit key is in your create else branch. So it's going to check transfer player. So we're going to make sure that if you have the key, it's going to just teleport you right back to here. So you're not going to have to go through a whole bunch of fighting. Actually, we'll teleport the player here, right? So we're going to take this, and if you haven't fought him, or if you haven't beat him, it's going to teleport you just right there. Alright, so now we're going to go to make sure that keys actually work. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take all this and we're going to copy this. Okay, we're going to copy this and we're going to delete it. And then we're going to make a new conditional branch. So create else branch. So new switches. If the item stairs key is in your inventory, it's going to do all this. So nothing will happen. And then if you don't, it just tells you it's locked. So yeah, that's all you need to do for a locked room. Just make sure that it says oh, this door is locked if you don't have the key on your person, but if you do, just automatically teleport them. We'll even actually make it so the door unlocks. So self switch A. So we're gonna go a little bit even further, and we're going to just do this. You unlocked the door. You unlocked the door. So we're going to remove the item fire cave stair key. We're going to remove that, and it's going to just continue the rest. So after this, it's going to go to self switch. It's going to control the self switch A and turn that on. So now every time you use this door, it's just going to it's going to transfer the player every time. It's going to transfer. Oh, I might have accidentally clicked something. Okay, it's going to transfer the player there every time, no matter what, without really questioning it. We're also going to make sure to do player touch. So we're going to do pretty much the same thing for that. Self switch. No, we're not even turning the self switch on for that. Yes. So we're going to actually just copy this. We're just going to copy all this, and we're going to go over here, and we're going to delete, and we're going to just do that. But it's not going to be if the party has the fire caves. It's going to be the exit key instead. So what happens is the exit key gets removed, and instead of being teleported, back there, you just get teleported, here. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. We're going to also make sure that self switch A is, when it's turned on, it just automatically teleports players outside, without question. So we're going to now, of course, make a way out of the cave. Back in overall 2. And back in overworld, 2 right here. Just gonna make it so when this is touched, it will transfer the player to the Fire Caves 1 and puts them there. So now we're going to do something actually interesting. Now we're going to use the control switches this time. So not the self switches, but the actual switches. So we're going to use this switch. It's going to be it's the first switch available. Fire Caves. Now, since this is turned on, we can actually use this to measure the game's progress later. So, control switches, Fire Caves on. So, now, what's going to happen is I'm going to go back to this event, and I'm actually going to add a conditional branch. So I want to make it so the switch Fire Caves is on. It's going to make sure. And we're going to just add an else branch. So if that's off and on, we'll add a choice. Go through caves. Go through caves. We'll add the text to make sure it shows. And then we'll have yes or no. And when yes, skip, or we'll change this actually, skip, or we'll not even actually have a text box, we'll just have the options be the choices. Skip cave, or go into cave. So when they choose to do that, when they choose to skip it, they'll just be transported to the other side. Like, absolutely nothing. We'll actually put this right there to make sure. So they're going to be facing up, and we'll make sure to do this on the other side down. We can pretty much actually copy and paste this. So we're going to do that. I want to put it right there because I'm not sure if it will activate. I think it will, but I'm not sure. So it's better to be safe than sorry. So this time, instead of being right there, it will teleport the player there. This will make sure that they can go back into the cave if they want to, but, we don't want to make them. So when skip cave, they're just going to go right here. And that's really it to the Fire Caves. I think we've pretty much covered everything for the first dungeon. Sorry if it was a little anticlimactic or there just wasn't much to it, but I hope anyone watching this and wanting to make a dungeon at least learned. I'll probably off camera actually interact and mess with these areas a little more. And I will like to make something be known when I finish this in these tutorials on making this exact game. I might make more tutorials after, I don't know, but when I finish the tutorials on this specific game, making this, I will release this to the public and anyone who's been watching, or just anyone at all really, can play this. So yeah, I will, add polish, and there'll be things that you haven't seen before that you will be able to see after. And yeah, thank you. That'll be all for now. Also, one more thing I forgot to mention. This is actually pretty important. I'm sorry about this. So, right click and edit your maps at the left here and go to specify battleback and then select what the background of your dungeon is. If you chose, while making this, you could have chose to make a forest-based dungeon instead, or you could have just copied directly what I'm doing. Either way, we need to go through the different options here and, we'll choose. So let's see. Wire mesh, wastelands. There's all these, cool grounds. Demonic world, demonic castle. I don't want demonic castle. I actually selected that. Alright, so lava 2. Alright, we're gonna want lava. Maybe like caves, dirt cave. A lava with a forest in the background. Lava cave. Yeah, lava cave, actually. This is pretty much what I wanted, but not really at the same time. You understand? It's a little too much. This is much better. Make sure your backgrounds copy, like, both. So, lava and then this area too. Or you could do something interesting and, like, maybe have a different background up here, like, we'll make this, dirt cave with the ground like that. In body. Let's make it in a body. Either way, just make sure it matches whatever you're doing, and yeah.